My story.
So you say you had a worst hangover of your
Worst hangover of my life. I'm sure I had the hangovers, but that one, for some reason, it really stuck out to me. It really stuck out to me because I was on top of my bed and I'm laying there, and here comes God again talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long are you going to do this? You know,
Yeah.
it's like repeating the same cycles
Yeah.
again and again and
Yeah.
again. Okay, I'm gonna say me and God. I have a relationship. We're talking about Ian Lavanzant.
Yes.
She always talks about a God of your understanding. So I have a God of my understanding. And we were like sitting there, and we're just talking, and it's like, how long are you going to do this? You have to. For me, I clearly had that voice. It was like, you have to put your big girl underwear on and handle this. It was so clear. Like, you know what you're doing to yourself. You have to handle yourself.
Goosebumps again.
Yeah.
Because every interview I have done, they always come to that point. And that's why I believe, you might not believe in God, but there's an infinite power somewhere. And when you think about it, you know it's God.
You know it's God.
You know, there's that thing, like when I talked about me going to commit suicide, it turned me around. I cannot tell you what. I cannot tell you how.
And it is not your own power or
It's
your
not.
own will. Yeah.
It's not. And even if you listen to the other stories, there's somebody, they hear it. So yes, continue.
Yeah. So it's like, how long are you going to do this? And I decided, how long? Really?
Right.
Because if I keep going like this,
Yeah.
I am going to lose everything. I'm not special. I'm not a special unicorn. It is going to happen because alcohol does not get to choose. It is not going around looking like, oh, no, not you, no, not you. It's everyone. Everyone can fall into it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Maybe some people are more prone to it if you have the gene, maybe the gene in your family. But for me, it's not like I have people who are alcoholics I don't have that gene in my family.
Yeah.
So this is me doing this to myself.
Right.
So I decided, I'm done now.
Yeah.
I have had my fair share of it. It was fun when I began, and there's somebody, I think I read something like, when you start in the beginning, it is fun, it's all right, and then by the time you're getting in the middle, it is fun and problems, and then by the time you're stopping, it is only problems. So for me, it was only problems. So I'm done. So I picked up that book again, the same book, and I started reading it. That time in my bed, or it was an audiobook. I started listening to it, and then I called my kids up in the bed. They were the first people that I told I have stopped drinking. My 3 children, because not even my husband, who's behind the cameras. So I called my kids back on my bed, and I told them, I had a very raw conversation with them. I don't know if they understood it. My kid was a big 5 at that point. No, my eldest one at that point, I think she was 10. I sat them on top of the bed and told them, in my own words, something like, I've been a very bad role model. I have done things that you shouldn't see. I have probably said things to you that you shouldn't say. I shouldn't say.
Right.
Sometimes I drink and I overdrink it and I do it too much. And when I do that, sometimes I'm not able to take care of you. I lay in my bed. That conversation still brings me tears in my eyes. And sometimes I will lay in my bed and I'm not able to take care of you. I'm not able to do things. And that is not how life is supposed to be. And I'm sorry. And I apologize to them. And you know, the funny thing is that our kids know, because none of them questioned what I was talking about. None of them asked, like, what are you talking about? They knew. They knew exactly what I was talking about. And they did not question it even for a second. So we hugged, and for me that was like a cleansing, because it had to come from them first, because they were the people who were my closest. Because again, like I said, I didn't do this in public where everybody else saw. It was them who got the majority of it.
It was all flowing on them.
On them.
That was very smart of you too.
And again, it's not me. It wasn't me. At that point, I think I was just operating in a God thing.
Godly
because for
atmosphere.
me, I think about it and I'm like, I did what? It just makes me think like, I don't know, But how did I think of having a conversation like that with them? Some people would be like, why? If you stopped, they would probably never care. But why did I think it was for me. For me, one, for accountability. To tell myself, you cannot go back there when you just told them all of that. So for me, it was an accountability thing. It was also a God thing, because that was not my strength or my power or my words.
I also think maybe throughout the whole scenario and throughout that time, difficult time, deep down you knew what you were doing to them. You might probably you were probably telling yourself, oh, they're little, but you knew, because we know. I know I've been there, not through alcohol, but I know I've been there, and I know, and I knew it wasn't right by my place, you know. And so when even we come back, because it's like we come back to ourselves, the first people you want to make up to, it's them. And I think that is profound. Sometimes it might be too late, but I think it's okay, nonetheless, to go to them and let them know. And anyone can make a mistake. And when you own it, you do something good to them. Because it's bad if you don't own it, and you know, but they know. Mommy sometimes makes mistakes. Yes. She owns it, and even with them, when they get to that point, they'll be able to get. Because when you've been talking about all this, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. Children, and I know how that can. And so you are a strong woman that you're able to go to them, and I hope something good also comes out. And they look great kids. I'm so glad you came with your whole family, because your family is great, and I think it's also probably an inspiration for you to continue with this journey.
Oh yes, and I love how you said that. It's okay for them to know that even grown-ups make mistakes, and that was the whole point of my conversation, that I made a mistake and I'm sorry. So even with that, that's where my relationship with my eldest started turning around. Because now we talk. Before that, it was, I'm the mother, you listen to me, and everything that I say and I'm right. Now we can have a conversation, because everybody makes mistakes. And for me, even I think about her when she grows up, I can also be able to have that raw conversation about, you think that it is good, but trust me, it is not going to end up well. And I can tell her, because she saw that,
And you also opened up that avenue. You can always come to me.
You can always come to me.
I'm not righteous. Come to me with, that's what I tell my, come to me. Let me know. Let me know. Even if you're out there, something really bad happens, and you think I'm gonna be mad, to me. I'm the first person you need to call.
Exactly.
You know?
That was the avenue.
Wow, your story. So so you called your kids.
So and I stopped on that day, and I decided it was enough. And so I listened to the book again, and I didn't tell my husband. I think I didn't tell my husband for like a month, because I knew it would. I was just thinking in my head, if I go back and I have told them, and I've told my kids, I don't know what I'm going to do, because now I know for sure that everything has been confirmed. I have to go to AA. I'm like, I am not doing that. So everything in my mind was set. Now this is where Ian Love and Sand comes in, because there's nobody else I listened to for the first 60 days other than her. Through watching her teachings, Ian Love Fix My Life, other people's messes and tragedies that they have been through in life, and forgiveness, the power of forgiveness. I had to forgive myself first for so many things, I said, so many things I did to myself, to my family, to my friends. I had to forgive myself first. And so through other people's story, I could relate, I could hear them when she talks about childhood and how expectations of you have to be perfect. This is the way you go in life. I'm a firstborn, I know you're a firstborn too. And for me, my parents expect these things. And I had a child, my firstborn I had when I was really young. That was a failure on my part. So there was many things for me that I had to forgive myself first. And when you drink, there are things that trigger you. So maybe it's barbecues, friends, hanging out, TV. TV was a big trigger for me. Like if people are drinking on TV, then I want to drink too. So I had to cut that out. I had to cut my friends out. I didn't even wait for them to cut me off. I cut them out first before they could cut me out, because I'm like, I am not coming to your party and then you convince me to go back to it. No, me first. And so for 60 days.
And I would imagine that also had a thing about it, they'll be like, oh, now she doesn't want
No, right? Now she doesn't want to hang out with us. She does not drink anymore, Like, I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want anything to discourage or get in my path, because I knew what I wanted. So 60 days, it was just me, myself. I came up with projects to do. I started I've never mowed the grass. Girl, I was out there mowing the grass. I was out there doing DIYs in my house. I was running, I was walking, I wanted to lose weight. I was about 160 something pounds then. I've lost a lot of weight.
Really?
And all the weight that I've lost came from after I stopped drinking. I've lost about maybe 40 pounds or more.
Wow, because you look great.
Oh, thank you. That was not the point, but anyway.
It's a good point. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so I got on that. I started eating right, exercising, and made goals for me that I now wanted to achieve. And I started.
Wow.
And
wow.
Here here almost 2 years later.
2 years later. 680 days to be precise. We'll be right back. So 680 days. July.
So no, July will be 2 years. Right now it's 680 days. And I don't usually like, oh my gosh, I'm counting day one, because people will think, oh my gosh, you stop and that's all you do. You count days and you can't think of anything else other than I'm not drinking. So remember when I talked about educating your mind, that your mind can change fast. Before even, if you're thinking about stopping to drink, the first thing you need to do is change your mind. And your mind has to be convinced that there's nothing left in alcohol to desire it, to even want it. And I wanted to get to that place where I don't desire it, that I can look at it and
not even feel nothing.
Yeah. And so that is how the book helped me change. So I put my start date, because I remember that day very well. Again, not my own power. I put it in an app. There's an app that I use. And so I just kind of go on. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it reminds me like milestones. 1 year. And
I think it's okay
like
to count. To me, the way I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Because, first of all, I think it's okay to celebrate. Small wins.
Yes.
And that's a win for you.
It is.
It is a win. Whatever you're coming out of, if you are successful, that's a win. That is a win, and I think it's okay.
Celebrate yourself.
However way you can celebrate by counting. An app is telling you how
far you've come.
Besides, there's a song. Her name is Shiro Wajipi. She sings about scars. And the way I interpret it is that it's okay to have those scars.
Yes.
And so when you remember them, when you see them, they're reminding you where you come from. So 680 days is reminding you where you have come from.
Yeah.
But far to go. Forever to go.
Oh, forever to go.
Forever to go.
Because when you saw me with Jerry, when we were talking with Jerry, I was like 60 something days.
Imagine that.
Right?
Yes. And even now, probably when you talk about it, first of all, you're more educated on this subject. You are more healed. And the most important thing, you're resonating with so many people. You have no idea how many people are sitting here watching you and saying, wow, that is me. That right there is me.
I love talking about it because I love talking to the mothers. Because mothers, we have a lot of things that we carry on our shoulders. The fathers are great too. They're very great. But mothers, we carry a lot of things in our shoulders. We have parenting. You know every little detail about your child, their schedules, their activities, who needs to be picked up, where who's going, who, including your husband's activities, routines, and schedules. I know. But it is true. We mind everybody's business. But the thing is,
and that's how we are created.
And that's how we are taught too. That's how you become good wives. When you mind everybody's business. But the thing is, nobody's minding our business. So you carry everybody else's business. And so that can really bring you down. And for me, my thing was, why? Because nowadays there's a thing called, in my blogging, I talk about this mommy needs wine culture. And there was a time we used to laugh, when you put wine in your tumblers and you're drinking wine. It's a marketing scheme. This whole thing is a marketing scheme that I talk about in my blog, that has been like these big alcohol companies, they spend so much money just to make you think that as a mom you need to drink wine so that parenting can be better, motherhood can be better. And once you believe that, your brain believes that, and then they give you a substance that's addictive, because alcohol is addictive.
It is addictive.
Then they have a customer for life. Customer for life until the intention comes in where you decide, I'm getting off the train, I'm done. Customer for life.
Your story is so inspiring, and I saw. I don't know if this is some of the things that you're doing to help you continue with the journey. And I saw this and I was like, wow, she is so good. Like, that time I had not met you. I really, really wanted to meet you. You had a bottle, you had a glass. I don't know what was inside, but it had very beautiful bottle with ice and a little lemon. On your Instagram. And then you wrote the little, not little, but we're still used to saying little. I don't mean little in per se. Your caption about you don't have to have alcohol. You have a nice, beautiful drink. And whatever you read, what was that?
Water.
Are you serious? It was so beautiful there. You just had it. That video was you better watch it.
So let me tell you about that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, because when you have been used to drinking and to being in the company of drinkers, and we are out here having fun and we are drinking, and then maybe in that setting you start to feel like, okay, I'm missing something. Like I don't even want to be in those situations because what am I gonna drink?
Yeah.
Everybody else is
You're
drinking.
gonna be what they call party
pooper, right? You're the one who's bringing all the negative energy. And that's why some people tell me, like, I don't even know, I don't want to go out anymore because I don't want people to think like I'm, I'm that person.
Yes.
And you know what I tell them? For me,
Yeah.
if drinking is working for you, I do not want you to stop. You go ahead. Even right now, like now I have friends and they come. In the beginning, now they know me. Kabi said, like I don't judge you, and I'm not here.
Questions.
I'm not here to question you. Yeah. And if you want to do it, please go ahead by all means. But they used to ask me, now you're going to be the ones who's going to always be talking to us about not drinking. I'm like, no. You come to my Instagram, to others in life, unless it's a sort of setting like this, I don't talk about it unless you ask me a question. Then we can talk on a personal level. Right. And number two, we cannot talk about it when you're drinking. Yes. So only talk about it when the two of us are not drinking. That's all. Yes. Because then it can become a really heated and sensitive conversation. Yeah. So then what, for me, that's a trigger. When people are having fun and everyone is drinking and I am not, it kind of makes me feel like, okay, I need to do something with my hands. Right. So I need a beautiful drink in my hands. And for me, that's a glass, a beautiful glass. Put ice in it, I put water, lemon, strawberries, oranges, whatever. And that's
Don't forget the garnish.
I know, right? And I'll just be sipping there. And I'm drinking like everybody else. Yeah. But I'm gonna go home, sleep, and wake up and feel great. And I don't feel like I'm missing out, because I know that can be a trigger for people. Like, how am I gonna go to social events and not drink anymore? You can drink all you want. Have your non-alcoholic beverage, looking beautiful, and just sip on it like everybody else. Yeah.
So how did you think about doing blogging? Even though you knew probably gonna be criticized, people would think, oh, now she thinks she's holier than thou. Oh, she was there now. You know. Were you not, first of all, afraid of this?
Of the criticism and of the story coming out?
Yes.
God. I can say, how did you do it? It's God. At day 60, again, this is the period, that things for me where I remember I was standing about when I got to 2 months. I was standing in front of my mirror and I was getting ready in the morning. And then I remembered a situation where when I was lying in, it was a Sunday, and how I used to lay on my bed almost every Sunday hangover. Like I can't do anything. I feel too weak and too tired to move. And I was feeling great. I felt so great on that day. And it was just that little talk or that little voice. You can help somebody. You remember where you came from. You can help someone. And those are the people, we were talking about this before we filmed. Those are the people that matter to me. That mother who is in bed thinking, this is not me, I can be better. And if you're thinking that, if you want, for me, if you're a drinker and you want your life to exponentially improve, change for the best, stop drinking. You don't even have to believe me. Just do it for yourself. Now that's the point where I was like, my life has changed. I didn't even we've never had a conversation with my husband, because like I said, he never had any issues with it. He'll take it and leave it. But because of my story, he watched it, and then all of a sudden it's like he drinks less, and he was drinking less. And then one day I remember him with a drug, and then he couldn't move. He's like, oh my gosh, I am not doing this again. And he stopped. Wow. And so even for him, it's been almost a year where it just came natural. I never tried to make anyone think that this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing it's not. It's just what you feel like. How is it? Is it really making you feel like that? Yes, there's that 30 minutes of where you feel like, oh my gosh, this is good, and then you have a couple of hours you're drinking. But the 2 days, 3 days of your mental health after that, is it worth? Is it really that worth it? Then. If it's not, maybe.
And besides, probably, as a nurse, we know it's to your lungs.
Oh, yeah. You know? Do everything, to all your organs.
All your organs, Wow. Guys, remember to share this story. You know somebody who will be very much be helped by this story. You know someone who is going through this one. You know someone who is not addicted, but maybe they're in the gray area. Share it. That's the best thing you can do. And even thank you for being a supporter. I know you do share this particular one. I am begging you, share it for that one person out there.
Yes.
Okay, so Lucy, so tell us, there probably is somebody out here who is struggling.
Yeah.
They don't think they are an addict, alcohol addict. They don't know where they are.
Right.
They know what it does to them after Saturday night or Friday night. They know what it's doing to their spouse or partner,
right,
or their children,
right,
or even their work. They cannot be able to go to work Monday because, or they go but they are there
and
or
feel horrible.
Yeah, sad and gloomy and all that. But then when they come back, they are like what you were thinking. I'm not an alcoholic.
Right.
You know. Or they stop. 60 days later, they start drinking. I can control it. Talk to that person over there and tell them what can they do. What can they do? How are they gonna get themselves together?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, give them a cheat sheet like what you used.
Okay.
It might not be exactly, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's good because a lot of people are usually stuck with how do you do it? How do I do it, Lucy? How do I stop?
Yeah.
And I read something once. 80% of stopping is mindset first. So educate yourself. Pick up a book. You're not going to be able to drink just by yourself. There's a lot of advertising and marketing that goes behind. It's a $1 billion business. The business of alcohol or other things.
The message is telling you to drink versus the message is telling you not to drink more.
Way more.
Yeah.
I was reading a story somewhere. They said on one commercial back in this, and I had to look up that commercial, Guinness commercial. It was called Tipping Point. They spent $1 million on one commercial. That commercial is what, 30 seconds or something like that, or maybe a minute. $1 million. But you know what they do? They choose to go to the things that we desire the most. So if you see these alcohol commercials, it's either people having fun in a stadium, friends together, or someone in a beach. In the beginning, when they're doing our mothers, in the beginning, there's not really alcohol in the commercial itself.
Yes.
But they want to elevate your feelings. I wish I was at a beach. I wish I was at a stadium. I wish I was having fun. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. And then when you're in that peak elevated stage, then they flash the alcohol bottle. So when you keep watching that, you learn to associate that I can only feel good like that if I'm drinking. They have to be the two of them connected. So it's advertising, marketing, and so the only way you cancel that is when you advertise and market to yourself.
Right.
And you advertise and market to yourself by books, by listening to other people who have stopped quitting, by listening to other people like me maybe who share our stories. Because in the beginning, that's all I did. Oh my gosh, I educated myself so much. I read blogs, I read other people's stories. Everybody on Annie Grace's website, I read their story and I'm just reading their story. I'm thinking, this is me, yes. And so that just gives me fire. Like, yes.
I can do it too.
I can do it. And then they tell you of all the things that have happened in their life that is so good. And you're like, I want to be that. Right now, I am making the most amount of money that I've ever made in the career that I did not want. Because I stopped drinking. There was no way I would have woken up to go to work on a Saturday night, on a Saturday morning. Like, no way. Now I wake up, I go to work, and then I come back. I have time with my family. I go, I have time. I have time to go back to school. I have time to work on other things. And my life is not all about alcohol. So let's do the cheat sheet. What do? You educate yourself first. And then when you stop, people are so afraid to lose people, other people. You're going to lose friends. That is a given. You're possibly going to lose your drinking buddies. And it may feel lonely and it may feel sad. But guess what happens? Then you build authentic relationships. You build relationships with people who actually want you for you. Because I realized that value you.
Who you are and what you're doing.
Yes. You for you.
My goodness. Yes,
and not you, let's drink and have fun. So yes, you're going to lose friends. And then, so get over that one real quick. And know it will happen. And then pick pick something. Pick to work on something. So what is it for you? Start a business. Maybe lose weight. Maybe go back to school. Maybe a relationship with your family. Pick something that means something to you. Or maybe blogging, yeah? An outlet. Pick an outlet to do. Gardening. For me, in the beginning, I didn't know anything else. It was gardening.
Yeah.
So I got out there and I did a whole bunch of gardening because it was my outlet. Walking. You know, going to the treadmill. So pick something, something hard that will require you to use a lot of focus. Because don't just sit at home. If you sit at home, you're going to get bored. You're going to get lonely. You're going to switch talk yourself back into doing the same cycles. So pick something that will get you out there. We visited so many parks when I stopped drinking. So many parks with my daughters. I used to go in everywhere around me in Washington. Every park I have been to. I don't think there's anything around a 30-mile radius that I have not been to. Because I was always outside doing something. A hard thing, and then celebrate yourself. I set milestones. 7 days I went without, I went a weekend without, and I don't know what, I don't remember anymore, but I think I went to the nail salon. It was something really small. And then I went another 2 weeks. I went and got my hair done. I went 21 days. I did a full shopping. By that time I was starting to see some evidence that this is working. So celebrate yourself. And then join a community, join connection. My Instagram is at the Sober Brown Queen on Instagram. You know, send me a message. And just see how are things going. Sometimes you need an accountability partner. Like, sometimes people just message me like, I really feel like I may want just to have one drink. And we talk about it like, let's talk about what happens after that one drink. So yes, you have that one drink. Let's talk about what happens after.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you just need someone to talk to.
Wow. I am impressed. I am so impressed because even though you say it's not just willingness, I think it's part of it. You know, you're willing
make
to be intentional about your focus, your goal, your decision.
Right.
Because that was a great decision.
Yeah. Best decision ever.
Best decision.
The main decision that has led to all of the improvement in my life right now. The one main decision.
So would you say you are happy, you're free?
I feel like that. I feel like that. I feel free. I feel liberated. And then I also feel like my relationship with God has also been the best since then. Yes, my relationship with my family, everything has improved.
I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
I'm happy for you.
I am happy for me too.
Yes, and that's the most important one. And I hope and I pray that your journey continues. Amen. You know, I know it's a long journey.
Amen.
And you have come from far, but you got this. This far you've come, you have more to go.
Thank you.
And more so, and more so, your willingness to, first of all, own. I like to say owning your story. You could have said no. Just the way you were like, oh, I'm not going to AA meeting. But you owned it. It's a problem I have, and that's what happens. You own what is going on. You own whatever that part of you that you feel. You know, and I know we are about to finish, but when you were talking about unworthiness, it roots from it comes from somewhere. You know, maybe your childhood, maybe whatever. It can, but you own that, and you take it, and then you decide, okay, this is what happened, and that's why I'm going through this. And that's why now I'm doing this to calm that down. But I'm going to stop and I'm going to go.
I'm going to fix it.
I'm going to fix it.
Even if I don't know how to right now, today or tomorrow. But I'm going to find out.
You're willing to do that. You're willing to look for ways to be able to accomplish that. And I think everybody can have that willpower to do that. Even you're listening to us today, you can be able to do that. And that is why my story is here. And if you have a story that you would like to talk to someone else, rescue them from whatever they might be going through, you're more than welcome. Always more than welcome to do that. And as I finish, she's got a blog, a website, beautiful website. You better go there. That one is an order. Please, just go read about Lucy on her website. Go to her Instagram. Instagram is say your Instagram.
At the Sober Brown Queen.
Beautiful name. Sober Brown Queen. And I'll put it on my description down on this video. I'll put the website too.
It's the same one, the soberbrownqueen.com.
Okay, and Facebook too?
No, the Facebook.
Okay, so just Instagram and the website. Yeah, please visit her. YouTube?
No.
Not yet? Okay, she's gonna have a YouTube.
I'm looking after you.
I want her to have a YouTube too. You know, me, I say, the thing
Yes.
she needs to start, don't you think? Yeah, and we'll support her. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You did not have to do it, but you decided and you accepted to do it. God bless you for that. God bless your family.
Amen.
And God bless your husband. He is supportive. I've already seen it.
Amen.
He's the guy behind this beautiful video.
Yes.
So reach out to him. That's what he does. His side hustle. So he's good at it too. I can already tell.
Yes.
And that's it for us today. Thank you also for always coming here on my story to listen, to share, to like, to subscribe if you have not subscribed. And continue coming. Continue coming. Bring your stories if you want. If you're, you're gonna bring yourself to that point of being vulnerable,
right,
and being courageous enough, because it's not in vain. When you come and talk here, it's not in vain. And I always say, it doesn't have to touch 1 million people. If it's only one person, you've done good.
Yes.
So thank you so much. May God bless you. Until the next video, see you. Bye-bye. Love you.